to my channel. I'm Anne and today I'm bringing you my June TBR. So I was struggling a little bit with what I wanted to read in the month of June because I don't have any big reading vlog challenges sort of coming up, so I didn't really know what I wanted to read. So what I decided to do was spend the month focusing on reading books that are on my yearly TBRs, so my Our Fantasy Bingo TBR and also my 2024 TBR. So what I did was I put both of those lists on a wheel and it generated and chose for me. So I've got a stack here of physical books that I want to read, but then I also have a bunch of arcs that I need to read, so we will see how I go. I have a lot of things to read. So the first book that I want to talk about is I want to read in the month of June is Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. I've put this on a previous TBR. I think it was the Readathon TBR. I still haven't read it. I really want to get to it. This is on my 2024 TBR, so hopefully I get to it this month. I am actually very excited to read it. I've heard great things and I'm excited to get back into this world and see Knox, Naomi, Nate and all of those characters. Then I have Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. This is a dystopian where we're following a Shakespeare group. Yeah. We have a deadly virus touches down in North America. The world will never be the same again. 20 years later, Kirsten, an actress in the symphony, performs Shakespeare in the settlements that have grown up since the collapse, but then her newly hopeful world is threatened. This is on my 2024 TBR again. It's quite short. I have seen the audiobook is available on Libby, so I might check that out on Libby and see if I can read it audibly, because I'll get through it a little bit quicker, but we will see. Then I also have Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. This is a fantasy romance standalone where we're following our main character Isabel. She is a painter and the fairies in this world covet the humans who have this creativity because the fae don't have that sort of creativity. So the prince, the autumn prince asks her to paint him. She makes the mistake of painting a human emotion into his eyes, which gets her in trouble and he has to take her away for punishment. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. I have this on my TBR before, didn't get to it, but I'm excited because I hopefully will use this to cover a couple of prompts in the Every Romantasy challenge and also the Summer of Romantasy readathon that Tori Between Pages and Covers with Cassidy are both running their separate readathons, which I'm very excited about. So hopefully this will tick off a couple of prompts for that. Then we'll go through some of the arcs that I have before I go through the other physical books that I have from my Our Fantasy Bingo. So the first book that I've got is Among Failed Stars by Shelby Brooks. This is a fantasy series that's perfect for Carrie Maniscalco, Jennifer L. Armiger and Raven Kennedy. And this is faced with the dying world, a lost heir will embark on a quest to find a cure for her people's suffering alongside a mysterious guardian whose secrets might just be the key to her salvation. So that's kind of the short one-liner blurb, which I'm very intrigued by. Then we also have Maths Magica, The Tapestry of Shadows by Daniel Georgiev. I've read one of his books before and I gave it 2 stars. I wasn't a big fan, but the author has said that this might be more of my cup of tea. So this is in a world divided by culture strife, twins Sova and Nyla, alongside their unlikely friend Evie, navigate the complex landscape of Maths Magica Academy. Tasked with maintaining harmony amidst rising tensions and mysterious threats from the fog, they uncover shocking truths about their past and the true nature of their lineage. In a quest for answer, Sova finds lingering secrets within the Tapestry of Shadows, unveiling powers that could change all religion forever. So it sounds really interesting. I do enjoy a magical school. So yeah, that's exciting. Then we have A Waysider by KJ Sutton. I am currently reading this, so I might finish it before June. because it's the 31st right now, but I just want to talk about it a little bit because it's so good. So this is the first in a new series called Avoyance, and this is a Stranger Things meets The Silence of the Lambs sort of a book, which I'm very excited about. I'm obsessed with The Silence of the Lambs. So we are following 20-year-old Cass Ryan is pulled out of the Hudson River. She's officially dead for 4 minutes. She doesn't know anything about the boy who pushed her in. She doesn't know why she's been hallucinating since coming back. What she does know is that the violent visions feel terrifyingly real and that her life will never be the same. Enter the Elds and Bellows Institute. It turns out that Cass's visions aren't visions at all. She's a voyant, and she can see the dead. Spirits and memories are trapped between this world and the next, and because of this dark ability, Cass receives an invitation to one of the most prestigious schools in the country. To ease the burden on her family and gain control over her power, she accepts. But nothing at the Institute is what it seems. There are secrets in the hallways and whispers in the shadows. Her new classes are strange, and some of her classmates are even stranger. There's also an unsolved mystery on campus. A decades-old crime that no one seems to care about solving. No one except the ghost of the girl who was murdered, and Cass. She quickly realizes the real challenge won't be passing her first year as a voyant. It will be surviving it. As soon as I saw Stranger Things, Silence of the Lambs vibes, I was obsessed, and I am loving it so far. So hopefully I finish it tonight, but if not, it's on my June TBR, and I'll be definitely finishing it tomorrow on the 1st of June. Then we have the next arc that I have is A Voice in the Tower by C.H. Lynn. This is the second book in the, what series is it called? The Old Tales series. This is book 2. I read book 1. I haven't reviewed it on this channel, but I will leave my review down below for book 1. Book 1 was a Little Mermaid retelling, and it was so fun. It's a short little novella where we're following Lydia and Derek, and they have been destined to marry. They've been made to marry each other. So as they're on their journey back to Derek's kingdom, their ship sinks and Lydia drowns, and Derek is then on this mission to save her because he figures out that the lore about mermaids and sirens are real, and he believes that she is a now turned mermaid. So we followed their story, and it was so fun. I gave it 4 stars, and it was great. So I'm very happy that I am part of C.H. Lynn's street team for A Voice in the Tower, and we are following Princess Riva. She is the second-born daughter in the kingdom. The crown's dwindling funds and her odd, dangerous magic spells disaster when a wizard comes for her hand in marriage. Though she falls in love with another, her father's fear and greed are enough to send her away. Riva is taken to the wizard's tower, but she won't stay without a fight. So this is a Rapunzel sort of retelling, and I'm very excited because we do get to see some of the characters from the first book, which I'm very excited about. The next one is Winning the Nightcap by Jane Hayes. This is a romance from what I remember, and we are following, after a messy breakup and a string of lackluster first dates, Beck has given up on finding love. Why bother with a relationship when she has friends, family and a job she loves? Everything is going fine until professional baseball player Aiden Price moves to town after a mid-season trade. She hasn't seen him in years, and even the cynic in her can't deny that she felt more like electricity with him in just a couple of days than she has with anyone. But that was a long time ago, and she's a different person now. If she's learned anything, it's that she's better off alone. But when Aiden keeps popping up in her personal and professional life, she has to wonder if she's making a mistake, suggesting they just be friends. Aiden hasn't been able to get the girl who got away out of his mind since the day he met her, but when he stumbles into Beck unexpectedly and under amusing circumstances, he struggles to get his footing before she throws him in the friend zone again. Aiden is determined to show Beck all the reasons why they should give each other a second chance. While Beck battles her insecurities, Aiden is confronted with his own. If anything is worth the effort, it's love. But Beck and Aiden have a lot of work to do to win the nightcap. So this sounds really fun. It is a cozy romantic comedy, and yeah, there is spice. I'm very excited to read it. So I think I've got one more. Yeah. Oh, the last arc that I have is Peacekeeper by Kelly Marie Pollock. This is a series and the last book in a series that I have been eagerly anticipating. I have been on the arc team for the first book, which was Cherry Nova, and it was great. We were following our main character Cherry, and she wakes up in this hotel covered in blood, and she finds out that she is now a vampire, and she remembers nothing of her past. So we're following her as she's trying to figure out what's going on, how she has become the way that she is, and trying to save the world as she knows it. And it was such a great time, and I've been eagerly awaiting the last one. But yeah, I'm very, very excited. So that's all the arcs that I have. I might get a few more dotted throughout the month. That seems to happen all the time. But let's get into the last few books that I want to try and get to in June. So we've got A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. I am still rereading the series. I'm currently in the middle of A Court of Mist and Fury, and I'm having a great time with my reread. As you can see, I've already tabbed this up before, but I'm very excited to reread this. If you don't know what ACOTAR is, I don't know where you've been, but ACOTAR is following Feyre, and in ACOTAR we're following Feyre, and she is on a mission to get food for her family, and while she's out in the forest, she kills a wolf, and that wolf turns out to be a fairy, and she has to go and live in Prythian to pay for the crime that she's committed of killing a fairy. And in this one, this is the third one in the series. We're still following Feyre and all of the adventures that she's going on. I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to spoil this, because this is the third book in a series. And then once we get here, I'll be on to A Court of Frost and Starlight and A Court of Frost of Silver Flames, which I haven't read before, but I'm very excited. The next book that the spinner wheel picked for me, and this is off my Our Fantasy Bingo TBR, I'm pretty sure, and it is Sam of Storms and Silence by Roseanne A. Brown. This is the sequel and finale to the Song of Wraiths and Ruin series. I gave it 5 stars back in February, I think, and I had a great time with it. So in this, we're following Karina, and her mother has been killed by an assassin, so she has to become queen, but she doesn't want to be queen, so she decides that she's going to bring her mother back from the dead, and to do that she has to for this spell, she has to get a king's heart. So she decides to give her hand away in marriage to get a king, to then kill him. And then we also follow Malik, who is trying to start a new life, and his sister gets kidnapped by a demon, and he has been told that to save his sister he must kill Karina. So we're watching them as they do that. This is a sequel, so I don't want to talk too much about book 1 because I don't want to spoil it for you, but it is such a good time. The magic, the tension, the friendships, the political intrigue is great, and I had a really good time with book 1. Very excited for book 2. And then we have The Adventures of Amina El-Sarafi by Shannon Chakraborty. This is about Amina, and she is a retired pirate, but when she's offered a job no bandit could refuse, she jumps at the chance for one final adventure with her old crew that will make her a legend and secure her family's future forever. Yet the deeper Amina dives, the higher the stakes, for there's always a risk in one to become a legend, to seize one last chance at glory, to savour just a bit more power, and the price might be your very soul. I've heard great things about this, and I'm very excited, and this will tick off another book on my Our Fantasy Bingo TBR. And then the last one, this is actually on my 2024 TBR. This is 11/22/63 by Stephen King. It's a chunky boy. I did try and read this a couple of years ago and then ended up stopping because it was just taking me a long time. I actually got to 260. I still have my bookmark in there, but I am going to be going back to the start to read it. But this is about our main character, Jake, and he comes across this time traveling storeroom in the local diner is a portal to 1958. Leaving behind a world of iPods and mobile phones for a world of Elvis, big American cars, and Lindy hopping, Jake sets out on an insanely possible mission to try and prevent the Kennedy assassination. So this is more of a sci-fi twist from Stephen King, and I'm very excited to get to it and try and actually finish this, because I remember, I think it was 2019, 2020, me and a friend were trying to buddy read it, and it was just taking way too long, and we decided to DNF it. But I'm still very intrigued by this, and I've heard really good things about it, so I'm very excited. So that is all the books that I think I want to read in June, or I'm going to attempt to read in June. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a like, comment down below what you're going to be reading in June, and subscribe if you want to see more content from me. Bye!